How's it going, everyone? Equinox Phoenix here, and today we're going to talk about Doctor Who Season 2, Episode 6, titled The Interstellar Song Contest. Uh, this episode is a doozy and a half, so let's get into it. Um, I'm not centered. Hold on a second. That would make me centered. Apparently. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, okay. Um, so this episode starts with the introduction of the Interstellar Song Contest in Harmony. Uh, apologies. It is early. I had an early breakfast. It's a whole thing. Anyway, um, so they on the what's the guy's name? Hold on a second. Okay, there you go. They started off with them unfreezing Ryan Clark. Those of you who watch certain British shows that I don't watch will recognize Ryan Clark. Um, I mean, I could actually just look it up. Hold on a second. Blah blah blah. Oh, it doesn't show up. Maybe it's an in-universe show. I guess. Uh, uh, Eurovision Song Contest. Apparently, yeah, from Eurovision. Anyway, um, so they unhost him so that he can host the Interstellar Song Contest, the 809th, I think. It's either 9th or 90th. Anyway, not important. It's 29 something. And while he's, introducing the show to the universe, the doctor shows up in the stands in one of the seats. Obviously via TARDIS. Y'all know how it is, right? Well, I messed up my windows. There we go. Anyway, so he shows up, pulls out the Vindicator, boom. They see what is happening, where they landed. And Belinda, she's like, oh, we're staying. The doctor's like, we're staying. Now, of course, they say enjoy. And the Vindicator finishes what it's doing. Now, while the doctors and Belinda are enjoying the show, a character we all know and love has appeared. Or, well, less know and love and more just, who the heck are you? Appears. Little spy, those zooms in with like a little binoculars and sees the Vindicator. Ah, excellent. And shares a snack with the person next to her. Um, so it seems that the seats the Doctor and Belinda are in actually belong to someone. They belong to a couple, Gary and Mike Gabastone. a husband and husband gay married couple. Love to see it. Um, they're arguing in this weird like way that couples do when there's no like heat behind it. Right? It's just kind of like, oh my god, you're always like this. So Gary goes to one of the droid sentinel thingies and is like, hey, look, this is my ticket, that's my seat. Fix this. The drone's just like, phase one activated. Enter the villains of the week. It is a Hellion named Kid, who is working with another Hellion that is employed by the corporation named name's here. I know it was here. Win Aura Kid. Thank you. Played by Iona Anderson. I have the IMDb page since as we know from The Well, I tend to forget or just things, so here is all of the characters' names. Anyway. Oh yeah, and cat lady person named Sabine was with Ryan. Less relevant, but you know. Anyway, they then pop the bubble that the stadium is in, essentially ejecting everyone. But the doctor had noticed that something was wrong before this. So he had messed with the Mavity field. So they all get caught and are frozen a la cryogenic sleep. Belinda, obviously, is a little further back. So when the TARDIS and Doctor get flung, she hits her back on the edge. And one of the contestants, a Cora Saint Bavier, she, her, according to the person in charge, is it? I don't. Uh, Liz Lizardine is, I believe, the character. Um, so what was I saying? Dude, I'm lost. Anyway, oh yeah, according to Liz, that's how she introduces him to Kid. Now, Win had also saved Cora, Saint Bavier, and Len Kaza, who were together. So now we have 3 survivors, along with our resident gay couple, making 5. Now, Belinda has a nervous breakdown. She starts freaking out. Right? Because she's all alone. She has no idea where she is in the universe. So Cora manages to calm her down. But while this is happening, the doctor is slowly freezing, and then suddenly, in his head, he sees his TARDIS and a very familiar looking face. The ice breaks. He then uses a confetti cannon to fly into the airlock, is let in back onto the station by Gary and Mike. Mike then, once the doctor passes out and he's inside, helps resuscitate him. He calls the doctor an interesting creature because he's got 2 hearts and whatnot. Now, the doctor, with the help of Mike and Gary, since Gary helped set up the systems for the Harmony Arena, managed to hack into the system and have a conversation with Kid. This conversation is viewed also by Belinda, Cora, and Len. In the conversation, the oncoming storm shows up, right? Uh, Trying to find just the doctor. It doesn't show like his like a list of yeah, there doesn't seem to be like a hold on a second. I'm on the TARDIS wiki. Uh okay, there is actually I can look this up on YouTube. Let me look it up because it shows a couple of his titles in a video. There's gonna be a transcript amongst them. The Destroyer of Worlds, the Imp of Pandorica, Shadow of the Valiard, Beast of Trenzalore, Butcher of Skull Moon, the Last Tree of Garcenon, Destroyer of Scarrow, yeah. The Oncoming Storm. We see this guy, you know, the guy who puts the fear into people, you know, the first thing you notice, unarmed. For many, it's the last thing. The guy, the guy who went to a people who keep a fatality index and was like, look up me as under cause of death and had them all run in fear after admitting that he's unarmed. We saw this man. He was like, you put ice in my heart. You can run, but I will find you and I will. And, like, he just went full the oncoming storm. Like, this is the doctor, right? Shurigawa's 15 has had that, like, boy, step the fuck back moment, right? And Belinda's like, oh my goodness, like, I have never seen him like this. Now, the doctor then confronts Kid, and during the confrontation, he starts to hurt Kid, right? He has like a hard light hologram that he can use it to hurt Kid. Every time he closes his hand, his hologram version shocks Kid, and he keeps doing it and doing it and doing it. And in his head, we see that same familiar looking woman saying, stop, grandfather, stop. And at that moment, it clicks for those who have seen some of the earliest Classic Who episodes why this woman looks familiar. It's Carol Ann Ford as Susan Foreman, the doctor's grandchild. We got Susan back. Everyone was like, yes, we're gonna get Susan, all of last season, myself included. And she's back. Now, Belinda comes in and it snaps the doctor out of that rage, right? You know, the one we rarely see. Right? We've seen it in A Good Man Goes to War. We've seen it in the episodes post Clara's death, right? Heaven Sent and all of that, where he just went completely rogue. We see it a lot. We see it in the Time Lord Victorious. We see it in uh, that first episode where he threatens Harriet Jones and then gets her, boom. We see it in the episode Dalek and during the Ninth Doctor when he just went complete psycho. Right? We he is here. Right? This is the man who won the Time War. The man whose mere name is feared, right? This is the Doctor, right? He gets snapped out of that like trance-like state by Belinda showing up, and she's like a little scared. And so once the Doctor has calmed down, to his normal happy-go-lucky self, right? Like the Doctor's supposed to be woo, happy-go-lucky, we have fun. I'm very impulsive, all ADHD like, but like let's all remember there is a reason why when the Daleks wanted to get rid of the asylum where all the craziest of the crazy Daleks are, there's a reason why they went to the Predator. The man himself. He who wipes out the Daleks. The Doctor. Which then led to them forgetting who he is, and it's this whole thing. But once this is done, the Doctor, with the help of Gary and Mike again, proceeds to then use the hard light holograms to pull everyone back in from space, starting with Ryan Clark, and to revive them, right? Forget the technical term what they called it. The beam, but it's not really relevant. Anyway, he goes in and they revive pretty much everyone. As they're leaving, the Doctor and Belinda accidentally trigger the Graham Norton hologram that is there to like give you like a history of this contest and whatnot, and they find out the Earth gets destroyed May 24th, 2025. That's next week. What? Anyway, they freak out, right? And they're like, oh shit. So he plugs in the Vindicator into the TARDIS and pulls. Now, everything turns red once they arrive and the cloister bell starts ringing. We all know what that means. The cloister bell, that's danger, danger, danger. It's time to get the fuck out. And when Lynn asks what that sound is, he replies with, that's May the 24th. And then, boom! The doors explode inward. There's like fire and everything. And credits roll! No, they don't. In comes Gary and Mike saving the final person, Mrs. Flood. Mrs. Flood makes a comment about her brainstem freezing, and then she bigenerates into Mrs. Flood, and name reveal, the Ronnie. This episode has done it. We have the Ronnie and Susan back. We got two time ladies. Now here's the thing. We know the Master's still alive, sort of. we now have the Ronnie and Susan as well. Now counting the Doctor, that's 4 Time Lords. Well, a Time Lord and 2 Time Ladies and a Tooth. Now, the Ronnie introduces herself and says, I am the Ronnie, the definitive article. She's just a Ronnie. Dresses Mrs. Flood as Mrs. Flood. And says, excellent. The Doctor will be introduced to Tara and all of this. And I was fun. So I was like, that's what it said. And cue the credits. It shows us the new actress as the Ronnie, and then continues off from there. Now, that is where the episode ends. Now, I would like to point out, I call the possibility of it being the Ronnie. It was the Ronnie, Missy 2, Electric Boogaloo. That was me huffing copium. And Ravani, I think? There was another one. There was another female Renegade Time Lord. Or, sorry, generally female. Is it? The Romana, yeah. And Romana. I guess it was gonna be one of those 3. Unlikely Susan, but I mean, hey, we got Susan, Caroline Ford. She's back. I don't know what to tell you. She is back. Let's go. Anyway, so now that we know it's the Ronnie, that's question answered. Question asked, question answered. So now here is my question to you. What do you think of this reveal? That it's the Ronnie. What do you think of the Susan Foreman cameo? Or triple cameo, technically. So, what do you think of it? I personally think badass, right? We got a second bi-generation, which means it's not like, how do I put this? It's not a just the Doctor because he's the Doctor, right? Or because the galvanic beam. No, Mrs. Flood died normally, sort of, and then bi-generated. Although, according to her, part of her did die, so that works. She bi-generated. That's it. I think that's great, right? They did it. They did it in a good way. Do I wish we, as the viewers, had gotten hints, like better hints at her being, you know, a time lady and the Ronnie, or even just a time lady in general? Yeah. Do I wish that we had the Daleks? Because this seems to be the second season in a row without them. And that's just a bit weird. Right? We went from having them at least once a year to... Where the fuck are they? Because we know they're still around. They're never gone. Every time the Doctor wipes them out as a species as a whole, they just show back up. So, ayo! Where am I? Exterminate. Come on. I want to hear it. One more time. Exterminate. And for the lucky number. Exterminate. If we don't get them, by the time we get the 16th Doctor, I'm going to be very sad. They're my favorites, right? I know with the Flash, the CW one, I kept getting really annoyed at Reverse Flash coming back. But that one didn't make sense. It was also very much a crutch. They're like, oh, ratings are low. Time to bring back Eobard Thawne. But the Daleks have been around since the very beginning. This is a 60-year-old show that keeps bringing them in new, imaginative ways. Heck, one year they were brought in as, hey, Doctor, we need your help. Which is like, what? Cool. Anyway, so yeah, tell me what you guys think of the Susan Foreman and Ronnie reveals and the episode as a whole down in the comment section down below. That's gonna be it for this video. If you guys haven't already, hit like, hit subscribe for new. I will see you guys next time, and as always, stay bright.